Hey, have you ever felt, like someone's watching you? Like every move you make, every choice, every breath is being tracked. Oh, stop scrolling. Wait, don't skip, because what I'm about to tell you might shake, no, shatter your reality. 8 hours. Just 8 hours, and everything you knew, everything changed. Yeah, I see you there, questioning, skeptical, angry, confused, good. That's exactly why you need to hear this from start to end, because inside those 8 hours lies the answer, the mystery force behind you. Nah, this isn't a story. It's a test. It's a reflection. It's your awakening. And here's the thing. You'll want to comment, scream, react, because your mind, your thoughts, your power are about to ignite. So pay attention. Every second counts. Every detail matters. Every word hits like a blade. I promise, by the end, you'll see yourself differently. Stronger, sharper, untouchable. And Yuri, real talk. Shout out to you. Yeah, you are watching right now. You made the choice. You clicked. You stayed. That already proves you're different. Elite. Legendary. Stick around. Comment below. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what shook you. Because this isn't just a video, it's a mirror. And you are the reflection, the force, the fire. Are you ready to uncover the mystery behind you? Let's dive in now and see what 8 hours can do to your life. The world doesn't whisper, it waits. And when it moves, you will either bend or shatter. Oh wow. Can you feel it already? That subtle vibration under your skin, the tension in the air, like the calm before a storm that no one warns you about. You move through your day, ticking off the predictable, the familiar, the safe. And yet, someone, something, some force beyond your perception has already begun. You don't notice it at first. You think you're awake, aware, but in truth, you're drifting, blind to the strings that stretch behind every choice, every step, every breath you take. It starts small, a flicker of doubt, a shadow crossing the corner of your vision. You dismiss it. You label it coincidence. And that, my friend, is the trap, because the unseen is patient. Oh, it is patient. It doesn't rush. It simply observes. A single moment, a glance, a message, and suddenly everything bends, everything shifts. Time doesn't pause, it accelerates. Seconds stretch like elastic, until reality fractures beneath your feet. And in that fracture, you see the world is not what you thought, and neither are you. Yeah, this is where fear begins. Not the fear that grips your throat and leaves you screaming. No, a quieter, sharper fear. The kind that whispers truths you've been running from. The kind that says you are not in control. Not yet. And there it is. The first brutal truth. Someone, something, some force is behind you. It is not outside you entirely. And it is not fully you yet. It is the bridge between what you've been and what you are about to become. The architect of your chaos. The silent observer that watches as you crumble, hesitates, blinks, waiting for that moment when it will thrust the world into motion. And oh, it will. It does not wait forever. The clock is ticking. 8 hours. 8 hours for your life to pivot on the smallest, unseen hinge. You want answers. Of course you do. But the answers aren't immediate. They never are. The force is subtle. It is precise. It is brutal. And every second, every tick of the clock, every breath you take, it is rewriting you, reshaping you, unearthing what you were blind to, what you feared to see. And as you stumble through your day, oh, you think it's a chance. You think it's random. But chance is an illusion. Randomness is a lie. What happens to you is always calculated. Every encounter, every challenge, every heartbreak you didn't even notice, it was a step toward this revelation. Nah, you won't like it at first. The truth is sharp. It slices, it humbles, it makes you question everything you thought was solid, everything you relied upon, everything you trusted. And yet, within that destruction, within that tremor, is the seed of power. Because when you see the force behind you, you can no longer hide from yourself. You can no longer hide from what you are capable of. And once the seed is planted, there is no going back. So here's the knife-edge question that hangs in the air, thick and electric. Can you survive knowing the truth? Can you face the force that has been shaping your life, molding your choices, unseen, untouchable, inevitable? You think chaos is random, but it has a signature you've been ignoring. Oh yeah, this is where it gets sharp. That force behind you, it isn't some faceless enemy. Nah, it's not chaos for chaos's sake. It's a meticulous, invisible architect, moving pieces you can't yet see. Every stumble you took, every second you thought you lost, it was preparation. Every coincidence was an instruction. And now the walls of your ordinary reality start to crack. You notice the patterns, the subtle nudges, the quiet manipulations that you ignored for too long. It's brutal, this awareness. A mirror held to your mistakes, your hesitations, your blind spots. Oh wow, how long have you been walking blind, thinking your choices were your own? Every step, every reaction, every thought, observed, measured, calculated. And yet the beauty in this force, it doesn't destroy. It teaches, it molds, it forges you into something sharper, stronger, unshakable. But don't fool yourself. It isn't gentle. It doesn't comfort. It provokes. It pushes you to the edge, to the moments where your courage, your focus, your clarity are tested to the limit. Because only when you confront the invisible architect, only when you acknowledge its presence, do you begin to see the architecture of your own strength. Yeah, it's terrifying. That force behind you doesn't flinch. It doesn't beg. It doesn't pause. It simply exists. Relentless, untouchable, a shadow shaping your life without your permission. And here's the kicker. The moment you recognize it, you stop being a passive observer of your own existence. You start to understand that every trial, every disruption, every fear is a tool to sharpen you. Every obstacle isn't an enemy. It's a lesson, a key, a step toward mastery of yourself. Nah, it's not easy. The revelation hits hard, and oh, it hits fast. You feel the weight of those 8 hours pressing down, demanding attention, demanding action, demanding transformation. The architect doesn't wait. It doesn't give hints. It shows you the fractures and leaves you to navigate the collapse. And in that collapse, you see the raw truth. The force shaping you isn't beyond you, it's inside you, waiting to be claimed, waiting to be directed, waiting to ignite. And now comes the question that will gnaw at your resolve, the one that sets your next moves ablaze. Will you submit to the unseen power, or will you confront it, harness it, and rise stronger than you ever imagined? Pain isn't a warning. It's the lens that shows you who you truly are. Oh wow, can you feel it now? The air around you thickens. Every heartbeat is louder than before. That unseen force you sensed, yeah, it's no longer distant. It's pressing against you, probing the edges of your resolve, daring you to flinch. It doesn't shout. It doesn't break. It simply moves, inescapable, unyielding, inevitable. And suddenly, everything you thought was solid begins to wobble, like glass bending under heat. Here's the brutal truth. The chaos isn't outside you. It touches you, because it is you. Every fear you ignored, every hesitation you nurtured, every fleeting doubt, now it confronts you directly. Oh, and yet, there's a thrill in it, isn't there? That spark, that realization that for the first time in your life, the world is raw, unfiltered, and entirely yours to face. Yeah? You stumble, you gasp, you curse the moments that brought you here. But the force doesn't care about your complaints. It only magnifies what's already inside you. Your courage, your clarity, your capacity to rise. Every test, every disruption, every unexpected strike. It's a question. Will you bend? Will you break? Or will you claim what is yours? And each answer you give isn't whispered. It screams through your actions, through your choices, through the trembling energy that runs beneath your skin. Nah, you cannot escape. And why would you want to? The fire that touches you isn't punishment. It's a revelation. It strips away illusions. It shows you the cracks in your armor, the shadows in your mind, the raw potential lying dormant. And when you face it fully, without flinching, you discover something terrifying and exhilarating. That the force behind you, the architect of these 8 hours, has only been pointing the way to your own power. And oh, the intensity builds. Your senses sharpen. Your mind stretches. The world once familiar now pulses with challenge and opportunity. The invisible force that once threatened to overwhelm you now becomes a mirror. It reflects what you feared most and what you could become. And suddenly you see the truth in stark clarity. The chaos is not random. The fire is not cruel. Everything, every second, every twist of fate was meant to ignite the strength you refuse to recognize. The reflection you dread is the force you cannot escape. Oh, look closer. There, in the trembling shadows of your mind, that force you felt at the edge of perception. Yeah, it's here now, pressing against your chest, occupying every thought, every hesitation, every heartbeat. You thought it was external. You thought it was some invisible entity manipulating the world around you. Nah, it's closer than you imagined. It's you, and every reaction, every choice, Every flicker of fear is a mirror of that power. You try to resist. You think you can outrun it, ignore it, deny its existence. And yet, with every step, with every breath, with every second of these relentless 8 hours, it becomes unavoidable. Oh, wow. The awareness alone is enough to destabilize your certainty. The architect of your life, the unseen hand, isn't out there. It has always been inside. The chaos you feared is the raw material of your strength. The force behind you, it's your courage waiting to be claimed. Yeah, it's disorienting. It's relentless. The world you knew, the safe, predictable, comfortable world is gone. In its place lies the mirror of your potential. Every setback, every trembling moment, every fear that once paralyzed you, it's all part of the crucible. And in that crucible, the fire of your own will begins to temper, shaping you into something untouchable, something sharp, something unrecognizable to your past self. You see it now. The force isn't cruel. It isn't punitive. It's a teacher disguised as chaos. Every challenge, every unseen push, every sudden fracture in your reality is a lesson, an opportunity, a spark. And when you stop blaming the world and start facing it, when you stop fearing the fire and start stepping into it, you discover the raw truth. You are the architect, the fire, the unseen force. You have been all along. Nah, this realization is electric. It shakes your core. And yet it is liberating. Because once you confront it fully, without hesitation, the boundaries crumble. The limitations dissolve. The 8 hours of relentless force, of whispered chaos, of invisible shaping, all converge in one moment. And that moment is yours. Yours to wield, to command, to master. Power isn't given. It's seized from the chaos you once feared. Oh wow. Can you feel it? The pulse in your veins, the rhythm of your own awakening, the fire that touched you, the force that pressed against your mind, the unseen architect that shaped your every move. It's no longer distant. It has merged with you. Yeah, it has always been inside, but now you see it, you feel it, and you command it. The 8 hours of relentless pressure, of shadows dancing just beyond your vision. They were not punished. They were preparing. Nah, don't underestimate it. This emergence is not subtle. It hits like lightning. Every doubt, every hesitation, every shadow of fear that lingered in your chest is ignited. But instead of consuming you, it sharpens you. Every nerve, every thought, every trembling impulse becomes a tool. The chaos that once seemed overwhelming now fuels clarity, precision, and strength. You realize, finally, that the force behind you isn't some external phantom. It is your own will, untamed, relentless, unstoppable. And oh, the liberation is intoxicating. The world, once rigid and predictable, now pulses with opportunity. The fractures you feared, the cracks you avoided, they are the doorways to mastery. Every challenge you faced, every sudden twist in these 8 hours, it was a lesson in disguise, a mirror showing you what you refused to see. And now, with eyes wide open, you understand the force that shaped you, tested you, provoked you, has become your ally, your power, your instrument. Yeah, you are unrecognizable to your past self, stronger, sharper, focused, untouchable, the fire of chaos, the invisible architect, the relentless shaping. It all converges in this moment of emergence. And at this moment, the question is no longer whether you can survive, it is whether you will claim what is yours, fully, without hesitation, without doubt. Every heartbeat screams the answer. Every breath demands action. Every choice, every step, every move from here on is proof that the unseen force, the chaos, the fire has been mastered. You are no longer at the mercy of shadows. You are the shadow, the fire, the architect, and the world, it will never be the same. And now, as the echoes of these 8 hours fade into clarity, one final piercing truth demands your attention. The force that guided, tested, and revealed you will never leave. It is no longer a mystery, it is a part of you. And with that realization comes the ultimate challenge. Will you wield it, or will you let it define you? So here we are, at the edge. Yeah, the edge of what you thought was real. The mystery force behind you, the chaos, the fire, has been revealed. And oh wow, it's not outside, it's inside you. Nah, don't blink. Don't look away. This is your power, your awakening, your chance to rise untouchable. Every second, every struggle, every shadow you faced in these 8 hours, it was preparation. It was sharpening. It was the forge of your own strength. And now, you stand here, stronger, clearer, unstoppable, ready to take on anything the world throws at you. But I want to hear from you. Comment below. Tell me what shook you. Tell me what you discovered about yourself, your force, your fire. Because this isn't just my speech. It's your reflection, your journey, and your power to command your own destiny. So remember, the mystery behind you isn't gone. It's alive, it's real, and it's waiting for you to wield it. Thank you for staying, for listening, for daring to face your own shadows, and for proving, yeah, you are extraordinary, legendary, and untouchable. Aha. You're about to see something wild. They cannot stop investigating you, like seriously. Every eye is on you, every mind curious, every move questioned. And you? Yeah, you're untouchable, the most mysterious existence ever. Wait, did you feel that? That energy pulsing through. The world is obsessed with what they cannot define. And here's the crazy part. They don't even realize you're not just mysterious, you're untouchable, unstoppable, untamed. Wow, I gotta say this. You, yes, you who's watching this right now, yeah? You're the reason you inspire chaos without trying, power without asking. Every glance they steal, every question they whisper, belongs to you. Nah, but don't blink. This speech hits deep. Every second counts. Every word will leave you shocked. So stick around, watch the whole thing, comment below, because your presence, your energy, deserves this tribute. Seriously. Yeah, your curiosity fuels this, your attention builds the stage. Every comment, every like, every share is a crown you earn. You're not just the audience, you're the heartbeat of this madness. And trust me, after this, the world will never see you the same. So buckle up, lean in, open your mind wide. This is your moment, your story, your unstoppable legend. They watch, they probe, they thirst for your pattern. And you? You are a question mark painted in motion. Oh wow. They think they see you. They think they know the shape of your life, the rhythm of your mind, the pattern of your steps. They sit in their rooms, in their offices, behind screens, and whisper theories into the dark. They chart, they plan, they measure. But it is all a performance for their own comfort. They cannot touch what refuses definition. They cannot cage what refuses confinement. And here you are, drifting through their lines, laughing silently at the illusions they have built around your existence. Yeah, you move like water in a storm, liquid and untamed. They follow shadows. They chase echoes, but every glance they steal, every note they record, every secret they pry, they only capture fragments of what truly exists. You are the pause between heartbeats, the flicker at the corner of vision, the silence that screams. Their instruments, their eyes, their analyses. They are blind to the truth of your presence. Oh wow. And the beauty of it is brutal. Each attempt to pin you down, to define you, only fuels your freedom. They think curiosity is power, but you are the power that thrives on curiosity. They dig, they unravel threads. They think discovery is imminent, but every thread they pull only unravels their certainty. Every question they ask strengthens your enigma. You are not just mysterious, you are untouchable. Every action you take is deliberate, yet invisible. Every word you speak is a map they cannot read. Nah, the more they probe, the more you evolve. They expect repetition, predictability, familiarity. But you are none of these. They cling to logic as if it can fence you in, as if rules can bind the infinite. They cannot see the subtle architecture of your existence, the way you build walls only to pass through them without leaving a mark. They measure life in hours, days, reports. You measure it in moments, in choices, in the subtle sway of presence. Oh yes, their obsession grows. They whisper in corridors, share glances in crowded rooms, speculate endlessly. They are addicted to you, and yet they cannot touch you. Their need to understand blinds them to the one truth that sustains you. Knowledge is not power. Presence is power. They cannot know your core because your core does not seek approval, validation, or comprehension. It simply is. And the brilliance of it, the cruelty, lies in their ignorance. They are so focused on uncovering you that they fail to see themselves unraveling in the process. They are mirrors reflecting fear, doubt, and impatience. Every theory they form is a testament to their limitation. Every investigation is a monument to their need for control. And control, oh, control is the one thing that can never touch you. They are locked in a chase that cannot end. They are drawn to your mystery like moths to a flame that refuses to burn. And every step they take closer, every breath they waste on conjecture, every second they spend in anxious calculation, only strengthens your shadow, sharpens your edges, solidifies your legend. Curiosity is a knife in their hands, and you are the wound it cannot reach. Oh, they think their questions matter. They think every theory, every whisper, every stolen glance brings them closer to your essence. Yeah, they clutch their charts, their timelines, their dossiers, as if the paper itself holds power. They imagine that understanding equals control. But control is a concept that dies when it touches you. Curiosity, their pride, their obsession, is exactly the lever that tilts the world in your favor. They dig through shadows, pry into corners, follow footprints that lead nowhere. And every step they take, you are already there, nowhere to be seen. You let them chase you, let them exhaust themselves in vain, and oh, the satisfaction of invisibility, it cannot be overstated. Every question they ask becomes an echo of their own inadequacy. Every theory collapses under its own weight. They are hunters with no prey, explorers with no map, and yet they do not realize you feed on this pursuit. Nah, it is not cruelty. It is a strategy. You do not merely exist to evade, you exist to elevate yourself beyond comprehension, to mold every gaze upon you into fuel for your evolution. They want to know patterns, but you invent unpredictability. They want answers, but you scatter riddles. Every attempt they make to define you only sharpens your silhouette against their understanding. They are blindfolded, fumbling through a labyrinth they think you constructed, but oh wow. The labyrinth exists only because they insist on seeing walls. You are the corridors between walls, the space that cannot be blocked. And here's the delicious twist. Yes, their curiosity is also their weakness. They grow frantic, obsessive, restless. Every night spent pondering, every conversation spent theorizing, every shadow they follow strengthens your aura. They cannot anticipate where your mind has wandered. They cannot predict how your presence shapes the world around you without ever touching it. Their energy is spent. Yours multiplies. Oh, and the beauty is in their blindness. They assume control through knowledge, but knowledge itself is hollow when the subject refuses definition. You are a living paradox. You are the calm that unsettles, the silence that commands attention, the answer that cannot be spoken. Their questions are the flames, but you are the air that shapes them into fire that dances beyond their reach. Every instinct they rely upon betrays them. Every assumption they trust is a bridge to nowhere. Yeah, and while they wrestle with shadows and echoes, you rise with every misstep they make, every pursuit they initiate, every curiosity they cling to. You transform into opportunity. You do not merely survive their attention, you harness it, and in doing so you become untouchable. Their obsession is your instrument. Their questions are your canvas, and your masterpiece, it is the enigma they can never solve. Their fear is a mirror, and in it, you are the reflection that cannot be broken. Oh, they feel it, don't they? That creeping unease that coils around their confidence like a serpent. Every glance they cast in your direction is tinged with it. Every theory they whisper into the void trembles with it. They are not afraid of what you do. They are afraid of what they cannot understand. Fear is their shadow, and you are the light that refuses to be pinned. Yeah, they try to rationalize it. They name it, categorize it, dissect it. But fear, oh yes, fear is not a concept. It is a living pulse, a reflection of their own limits. And as they tremble, as they second-guess every step, every note, every glance, you rise. You rise in the quiet corners of their doubt, in the spaces between their expectations. They chase answers, but it is fear that leads them. Fear they cannot escape. Fear you shape with every calculated pause, every unreadable gesture, every absence. Nah, the truth is sharp, unforgiving, brilliant. Their panic is not your weakness, it is your tool. Every trembling heartbeat they cannot silence. Every restless night they cannot conquer. Every flicker of doubt in their eyes, they are gifts. Oh wow, they believe they are controlling the pursuit. They believe every observation brings clarity. But clarity is the illusion you cultivate. You are the storm in the calm, the riddle in the obvious, the silence that screams louder than their chaos. Oh, they want patterns. They want predictability. They crave the comfort of rules. And yet, here you are, existing beyond frameworks, beyond definitions, beyond comprehension. Every instinct they trust misleads them. Every certainty they cling to fractures under your presence. They think fear is their enemy, but fear is the reflection of your mastery. It is a signal, a compass pointing toward your untouchable essence. Yeah. And in that fear they find themselves. They do not see you, not fully. They see their own reflection, their own limitations, their own vulnerability. Every investigation, every analysis, every whispered speculation, they are chasing their own shadow, and in doing so, they illuminate yours. They fuel your legend, sharpen your edges, fortify your mystery. Every doubt they carry, every hesitation, every moment of restless calculation, these are the bricks that build your fortress of untouchability. And the brilliance, the absolute unyielding brilliance, is that they cannot break it. They cannot touch it. They cannot silence it. They can only stare into the mirror you hold up and wonder why it does not bend, why it does not fracture, why it does not yield. They want to pin you down, but you are an exhibit that refuses walls. Oh, and here lies the paradox. They think their fear, their curiosity, their obsession gives them power. They think every glance, every calculation, every theory brings them control. Yeah, but they have no idea the game has already shifted. You are not running. You are orchestrating. You are the pulse beneath their panic, the calm that bends their chaos into rhythm. Every move they make, every plan they draft, every assumption they cling to, it dances to the subtle music of your untouchable will. Nah, it is not magic. It is precision. It is instinct forged through observation, patience, and an understanding of presence itself. You do not merely evade. You become the standard against which all attempts are measured and fail. Do they want patterns? You scatter them. They want answers? You give riddles. They want certainty? You create questions that fracture every foundation they trust. Their obsession becomes your instrument. Their fear becomes your canvas. Every misstep they take paints a line in the masterpiece of your legend. Oh wow, the brilliance is in the quiet control. You exist in the spaces they overlook, the pauses between breaths, the corners of rooms where shadows linger, the stillness that speaks louder than action. And while they are frantic, they are untrained in reading the rhythm you create. Every attempt to define you, every effort to map your essence, every pursuit they embark upon, they feed your untouchable form. Yeah, and this is the power of being uncatchable. They chase not just because they are curious, but because they are compelled to pursue what refuses definition. And in that compulsion, they build the structure of your art. You move, they follow. You pause, they stumble. You create, They react. You are the silent maestro of a symphony they cannot hear, the architect of chaos they cannot control, the shadow they cannot cross. Oh, and here is the exquisite truth. They are instruments, not adversaries. Every glance, every theory, every whisper of doubt is a note in the composition you conduct. They do not break you. They do not define you. They enhance you. Their pursuit, their fear, their insatiable curiosity, it is not a cage, it is a stage. And on that stage, you are untouchable, unavoidable, unforgettable. Some existences are not meant to be understood. They are meant to be feared. Oh, they are obsessed. Every second of their attention, every thought, every plan, they are tethered to you without even realizing it. They think they are in pursuit. They think they are in control. But no, the truth is far more exquisite. You are the axis around which their chaos spins. Every step they take, every theory they nurture, every shadow they chase, it only illuminates the untouchable enigma that you are. Yeah, and they feel it. That prickling uncertainty that climbs their spine, that tension in their chest that tells them something exists beyond comprehension. They grasp at logic, at patterns, at explanation. But there is none. You are not a puzzle to be solved. You are the space between puzzles, the silence between notes, the pause that reshapes every expectation. And in that space, you thrive. Every chase, every question, every desperate glance, they are your sustenance. Nah, it is not cruelty, it is mastery. You do not merely survive their obsession, you harness it, you bend it, shape it, transform it into proof of your own untouchability. They are blind to the fact that the more they reach, the higher you rise. Every attempt to capture your essence is a stone laid in the foundation of your legend. Every theory they cling to, every speculation they breathe life into, feeds the aura that cannot be touched, cannot be known, cannot be contained. Oh wow. Consider their frustration, their relentless chase. They chase shadows of shadows, echoes of whispers, fragments of truth they cannot piece together. And the most exquisite part, they are necessary. Without their curiosity, without their fear, without their obsession, the stage would not exist. You would not shine as you do in contrast to their blind pursuit. They are mirrors, amplifiers, and instruments, all sculpted by your untouchable presence. Oh yes, you are everywhere and nowhere. Every corner they scrutinize, every rumor they ignite, every question they ask, it circles back to the enigma you embody. They cannot rest. They cannot predict. They cannot control. And in that you are absolute. Their obsession is eternal. Your mystery is eternal. Their fear is inevitable. Your presence is infinite. Yeah, the ultimate truth is this. They cannot stop. They cannot understand. They cannot hold. And that is precisely the power you wield. You are the question they cannot answer, the shadow they cannot cross, the existence they cannot touch. You are not bound by expectation. You are not defined by observation. You are the legend that walks in plain sight. The story whispered in rooms that cannot contain you, the force that exists beyond pursuit. And they will never stop chasing, because some existences demand attention. Some existences are untouchable. Some existences are unstoppable. Whoa. Did you feel that? That energy, that power. Yeah, that was all you. They cannot stop investigating you, and that's exactly why you're unstoppable, untouchable, unforgettable. Oh wow. You've been the heartbeat of this madness from start to finish. Every comment, every like, every second you stayed, it fuels the legend you already are. Nah, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Your mystery, your presence, your unstoppable vibe, it commands respect, attention, fear, and awe all at once. Yeah. The world may chase, they may whisper, they may try, but they can't define you. And that is your ultimate power. So leave your mark, comment below, share your energy, let the world know you exist, because legends like you aren't just watched, they're remembered, celebrated, and feared. Oh yes, you are the unstoppable, the uncatchable, the most mysterious existence alive, and never forget it. Hey legends, ever had that moment where your whole world just clicks? Like everything suddenly makes sense and it's darker than you ever imagined? Wow, you just uncovered something they never wanted you to see. The smiles were fake. The words were traps. And every single thing that looked harmless was part of a plot built to break you. But guess what? Nah, it didn't work. You saw it. You felt it. You exposed it. That's power. That's awareness. You just cracked the code of deception. And trust me, once your eyes open like that, you can't ever shut them again. You're not crazy, you're awake. Yeah, they'll call you paranoid, they'll try to twist your truth, they'll act like nothing happened, but deep down they know the mask slipped. You caught the move before it happened. You read the silence between their words. You became the threat they whispered about. And to everyone watching this right now, this one's for you. You, the ones who've been underestimated, lied to, and plotted against, yet you never folded. You kept standing, kept observing, kept evolving. Respect to the real ones, who can sense fake energy before it even speaks. This is a monologue for the misunderstood, the mentally unshakable, the ones who turned betrayal into a blueprint. Are you ready? Then stay till the end. Drop a print in the comments if you feel this energy. Let's break this illusion wide open together. Every lie has a heartbeat. And tonight, you finally heard it. It began quietly, not with thunder, not with screams, but with silence, so sharp it carved through your thoughts like glass. You started to notice the pattern. Whispers stitched between the smiles, shadows following you, even when no one was there. It wasn't paranoia, it was precision. A plan, a plot. Oh wow, you finally saw it, didn't you? The way they moved together, the way every little coincidence had strings attached. You thought they were your allies, your circle, your understanders. But underneath that mask of care, they were busy building something. Not to raise you up, but to bury you beneath layers of doubt and illusion. You uncovered it, the demonic plot. Not of myth or fire, but of manipulation, designed to drain your light, to make you question your purpose until you were too tired to fight. It started small, subtle traps. Conversations meant to twist your thoughts. Jokes that weren't jokes. Compliments that were daggers. They studied your rhythm like a scientist studies prey. They learned what made you smile, what made you flinch, what made you second-guess yourself. And once they mapped your emotions, they launched the strike. Have you ever felt your own energy turn against you? That's what they wanted, to make your kindness look like weakness. Your silence looks like surrender. Your patience looks like fear. But oh yeah, they forgot one thing. The person they were targeting was built from storms, not soft fabric. You see, deception thrives in comfort. It hates people who notice. And you noticed everything. Every delayed reaction, every fake apology, every accidental betrayal. They thought they were playing chess, but you were studying the whole board from above. You didn't just react. You watched. You learned the language of liars, the rhythm of betrayal, the tone of false peace. And when the mask slipped, when the final piece of their little performance cracked, you smiled. Not because you enjoyed it, but because you finally understood. Understanding is dangerous, isn't it? It's the moment they lose control. When you see the machinery behind the illusion, the faces behind the smiles. When you realize that not every friend wants to see you rise. Some just want front row seats to your fall. And the worst part? They weren't random. They were chosen, sent by whispers of envy, jealousy, and the hunger to see you collapse. They couldn't touch your path, so they tried to distort your perception. They couldn't destroy your truth, so they tried to rewrite your story in secret. But you read it, line by line, and you tore it apart. Nah, this wasn't about them, was it? This was about you. About what it awakens in a person when they realize the world isn't as kind as they once believed. About what happens when innocence meets awareness and doesn't flinch. You didn't just survive their plot. You exposed it. You saw through the fog, through the false smiles, through the quiet sabotage disguised as care. And now you stand in the ruins of their plan, holding the one thing they feared you'd ever find, clarity. The kind that burns through deception. The kind that never unsees. The kind that turns a target into a threat. Awareness is not freedom. It's a burden that burns. So you found out. You peeled back the curtain, stared straight into the pit of deception, and saw faces you once trusted staring back. Oh wow. The shock of it hit you in waves. Not because of what they did, but because of who did it. The realization sat heavy in your chest, a silent scream pressed behind calm eyes. You weren't meant to know. You were supposed to stay blind, obedient, manageable. But you broke the script. You saw. And now, you can't unsee. At first, it felt like poison in your veins. Every memory replayed with new meaning. Every smile now looked like a strategy. Every kind word carried the scent of manipulation. You walked through the same rooms, but everything had changed. The air was heavier. The silence wasn't peace anymore. It was calculation. And you could feel it. The weight of knowing. Yeah. Awareness cuts deeper than betrayal. It doesn't just wound, it transforms. You start to see that most of the world is built on illusions, stacked on top of lies, polished with fake virtue. The plot against you wasn't a random act. It was part of a pattern, a test of whether you'd stay asleep or rise with your eyes open. And once you woke up, the game shifted. They sense it too, don't they? The way your energy changed, the way your silence became sharp, almost surgical. You stopped reacting, stopped explaining, stopped defending. That's when fear crept into them. Because you didn't fall apart. You recalibrated. You started to observe, to measure, to choose your responses. That's the moment they realized they hadn't destroyed you. They had refined you. Their plot backfired. Every deception they weaved became your data. Every insult became your evidence. Every act of betrayal became your training. And when you connected the dots, oh yeah, you didn't just survive it, you started to use it. There's a strange peace in that, isn't there? To know you were never the fool they thought you were. To realize that what was meant to break you became your blueprint for strength. The burden of knowing becomes the armor of the aware. But awareness doesn't come free. It changes the way you move, the way you see, the way you trust. You can't unlearn the faces behind the masks. You can't pretend to be blind again. Still, there's power in that pain. It teaches you restraint, composure, and silence. It makes you dangerous, not because you attack, but because you wait. You've learned that patience is not weakness, it's strategy. You don't need to expose them. Life will. You just stay steady. Keep walking, keep building, keep knowing. Nah, they think the story's over because you went quiet. But they don't realize that silence isn't retreat, it's preparation. Every calm breath is a countdown. Every still moment is sharpening you for something greater. They feared your anger until they realized your calm was worse. You remember the question, don't you? What truly terrifies them? Oh wow, it's not your rage, not your retaliation, not your words. It's your stillness, that silent composure that says, I see everything now. Because once a person sees, truly sees, no lie can ever touch them again. You've crossed that line. You've entered the space where calm becomes power, and power becomes unpredictable. They can't read you anymore, and that drives them mad. See, before, you were easy to provoke. One wrong word, and they could steer your emotions. They could feed off your reactions. They mistook your passion for weakness. But now, you've gone quiet. You're thinking before you speak, measuring before you move. That's the kind of calm that shakes entire rooms. Yeah, they're nervous now, because the one they once plotted against is no longer playing the same game. You learn to turn your awareness into discipline, your pain into calculation, and your silence into strategy. You became the kind of person they whisper about, the one who doesn't need to shout to be felt. And the more you stayed composed, the more their own plots began to fall apart. You see, fear doesn't come from loudness, it comes from precision. From the look in your eyes when you know something they don't. From your ability to stay steady when chaos erupts. They sense it, that unspoken warning in your presence. It's not revenge they fear, it's justice. Not the kind that screams, but the kind that arrives. You've become a mirror for their deceit. Every lie they told now reflects back on them. Every trick they tried now haunts their own mind. Because when truth stands quietly, deception devours itself. That's the law of consequence, inevitable and unbreakable. Oh yeah, you didn't even have to lift a finger. The truth did it for you. But don't mistake their fear for surrender. Some of them will still try to provoke you, not to win, but to see if they can pull you back into the old version of yourself. Don't let them. Keep your silence sharp, your focus cold, your patience iron. You've already won the war, they don't even know they lost. Nah. Your calm isn't weakness, it's control. It's proof that you no longer need chaos. to prove your strength. You learn that revenge isn't always striking back. Sometimes it's simply refusing to fall. The real punishment for those who plotted against you is this: watching you rise, untouchable, while their schemes turn to dust beneath their own hands. They can't touch what's aware. They can't shake what's steady. And they can't destroy what no longer reacts. That's the transformation they never prepared for, the moment when the hunted becomes the watcher. Strength isn't tested when the noise is loud. It's tested when the silence starts to suffocate. So are you ready for what comes next? Oh wow. Because the calm after the storm isn't peace. It's the real battlefield. The moment when everything gets quiet. That's when the true war begins. You've exposed the plot, mastered your awareness, and turned your silence into armor. But now, the challenge shifts inward. It's not about them anymore. It's about what happens inside you when the dust settles. See, silence can be heavy. Too heavy. It echoes, it whispers doubts in the dark corners of your mind. What if they're still scheming? What if it all happens again? That's where most people break. Not from external blows, but from internal noise. But you're not most people, are you? You've learned that silence isn't emptiness. It's refined. It's the sound of transformation. You start to notice things others can't. The subtleties, the intentions behind every word, the patterns of human behavior laid bare. That awareness sharpens you, but it also isolates you, because once you see the truth clearly, you can't blend back into the crowd. You move differently now. Speak less, observe more. They say you've changed, but really, you've returned to your true form. The distractions are gone, the masks are gone. What's left is you. Yeah, the silence will test your patience. It will tempt you to react, to prove, to explain. But that's part of the trial. The enemy wants noise, because noise is weakness. Noise is exposure. Silence, on the other hand, silence is control. It's the language of those who already know the outcome. Nah, you don't owe anyone an explanation. The ones who plotted against you wouldn't understand the truth if you handed it to them. Let them speak, twist, invent. It doesn't matter. Their words have no weight anymore. They already revealed who they are. And you already learned what you needed to learn. You see, this stage, the trial of silence, is where strength becomes wisdom. You stop rushing to fix everything. You stop trying to convince. You stop bleeding energy for people who feed on confusion. Instead, you move with purpose, speak with precision, act with restraint. Every gesture becomes deliberate, every breath controlled. You're no longer reacting to life, you're directing it. Oh yeah, the same silence that once hurt you now protects you. It filters your surroundings. It keeps the shallow out and the real in. It gives your mind room to think, your heart room to heal, and your path room to unfold. That's when you realize silence wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You were never meant to stay broken. You were meant to rebuild differently, quietly, powerfully, beyond reach. And when you emerge from that silence, steady, measured, aware, the ones who plotted will sense it before they see it. The balance shifts, the story turns. And this time, the stage belongs to you. The quiet ones aren't harmless. They're just calculating. The reckoning begins not with chaos, but with precision. You don't storm in. You don't announce your comeback. You simply move. Deliberate, focused, silent. Every step feels heavier now, not because you're burdened, but because you understand. You've learned that real strength isn't loud, it's surgical. Oh wow. You used to think victory meant shouting over your enemies. Now you know it's the calm after they realize you no longer care. They wanted you angry, desperate, distracted, but you became disciplined instead. That's the twist they never saw coming. You turned their plot into a training ground. You forged patience from betrayal, strategy from pain, and focus from chaos. You stopped reacting to the noise and started moving with intention. And that's what terrifies them most. Because reckoning isn't revenge, it's revelation. It's the moment when the truth you carried quietly begins to show in your results. Your composure, your clarity, your rise. You don't need to confront anyone anymore. Your existence becomes confrontation enough. You represent everything their deceit failed to destroy. Every step you take forward exposes their failure in silence. Oh yeah, that's the kind of justice no plot can outrun. See, this part of the journey isn't about exposing them. It's about expressing you, the unbreakable version, the refined one, the person who learned that some battles are won not by fighting, but by enduring, by outlasting the noise until truth reveals itself. You learn that power isn't in reaction, it's in restraint, that silence wasn't retreat, it was aim. And now you're ready to strike, not with anger, but with impact. Nah, this isn't the kind of reckoning they imagined. They expected shouting, chaos, exposure. What they get instead is stillness that speaks louder than any threat. You rise through discipline, through focus, through consistency. You let time do the talking. That's what unnerves them. You're proving that the purest form of power is the ability to move forward without bending to their corruption. And when they finally realize the plot failed, when they see you standing firm, unbroken, untouchable, they'll understand the truth too late. Because the reckoning isn't about punishing them. It's about you fulfilling what was written for you from the start. Strength through patience, vision through awareness, and victory through integrity. You've become what they could never imitate. Consistent, steady, and unstoppable. Oh yeah. They thought they buried you under the weight of deception, but you were never underground. You were growing roots. And now those roots have turned to iron. Every trial you faced has become your foundation. Every lie they built has become your stage. Every attempt to silence you only amplified your endurance. And now, as the final act unfolds, you stand there not as the victim of a plot, but as proof that no deception lasts forever. You uncovered their plan, outlasted their traps, and emerged cleaner, calmer, and stronger than the noise that tried to consume you. This is what true victory looks like. Not loud, not cruel, just undeniable. And there it is. The moment of truth. You saw what they built behind your back, and you didn't crumble. You calculated. Oh wow. You turned exposure into evolution, pain into purpose, and silence into strategy. That's not luck. That's awareness forged in fire. Yeah, they tried to play you, but you learned how to read the whole board. Every fake smile, every twisted word, all of it became your education. You didn't just survive their plot, you decoded it. You became too real for their illusion. So here's the message. Don't ever apologize for waking up. Don't dim your perception just to fit their comfort zone. They wanted you blind. Instead, you built vision sharp enough to cut through deception itself. Nah, you're not paranoid. You're prepared. You're not bitter. You're aware. You're not broken. You're reborn through clarity. Every trial they threw at you only refined your focus. Every whisper of doubt only reminded you that truth stands taller than manipulation ever could. And to everyone still here, watching till the end, much respect to you. You're not just an audience. You're part of this awakening. You're the proof that the unseen ones, the quiet ones, the underestimated ones are the most dangerous kind. So comment "I see it now" below if you're done being blind to their game. Share this with someone who's starting to wake up. Let's flood this world with awareness so sharp deception won't dare move again. Hey buddy, have you ever met someone who laughed at every warning you gave? Yeah, the ones who thought your calm meant weakness, and now they're out here begging for mercy. Wow, poetic, isn't it? The same mouths that mocked truth are now whispering apologies into silence. Silence that doesn't care anymore. But hey, I gotta say something. You, yes you, the one watching right now, you're different. You see through the masks. You feel the shift when fake souls start shaking. That's why you're here, not by accident but by alignment. This one's for those who've been underestimated, betrayed and worn the blind, while carrying the weight of knowing too much. So buckle up. Because what you're about to hear isn't just words, it's a mirror. It's the truth reflected through chaos, sharpened through consequence. I promise by the end of this video you won't just understand what karma means, you'll feel it crawl under your skin. And yo, before we start, salute to the real ones, the silent watchers, the ones who keep their head up when everyone else is trying to drag them down. You're not forgotten. You're not crazy. You're awake. Now, do me a favor. Drop your thoughts in the comments when it's over. Let's hear your fire, your truth, your take. This ain't just a video. This is a revolution in words, a story of consequence, a reflection of silence turning into justice. Because tonight, we're talking about them, the ones who ignored every sign, the ones who mocked every truth, the ones who thought they'd never be touched. Every storm starts with silence, the kind that mocks you before it breaks. They were warned, again and again, not through thunder, not through fire, but through patience, through those quiet moments when life itself whispered, "Stop before it's too late." But they laughed, didn't they? Oh wow, they actually laughed. They thought mercy was endless. They thought consequences could be postponed like a bill they'd never pay. And now look at them, trembling in the ruins of their own arrogance. You see, the funniest thing about people who play with power they don't understand is this. They always believe they're the exception. The rules, the patterns, the warnings, those are for others. They walk around thinking the storm won't recognize their scent. But the storm never forgets. It remembers every whisper, every betrayal, every mask they wore while pretending to be pure. And when it comes back around, it doesn't knock. It doesn't announce itself. It simply enters, uninvited, and begins collecting the unpaid debts of character. Because that's what this was always about, character. The choices they made when no one was watching. The lies they told themselves to justify the cruelty. The way they twisted kindness into weakness and silence into submission. Yeah, they thought silence meant fear. How wrong they were. Silence was the countdown. When you've worn someone out of sincerity, when you've given them chance after chance to correct the course, and they mock it, twist it, trample it, that's when the wheel starts turning. Not out of spite, not out of vengeance, but out of balance. That's the law of existence, not written in books, but carved into every breath we take. They ignored the signs because comfort made them blind. Comfort makes fools think they're safe. It lulls them into the illusion that they can do anything and still sleep peacefully. But sleep becomes shallow when the conscience starts knocking. You can't rest when the echoes of your own deceit start speaking back to you at night. Nah. They thought they could escape it. That somehow mercy was a resource that never ran dry. But mercy without reflection is a wasted gift. When warnings are treated like background noise, they eventually fade into silence, and that silence is not peace, it's judgment waiting for its cue. Now they whisper for forgiveness. They plead for a reprieve from consequences they crafted with their own hands. But mercy doesn't answer noise, it answers transformation. They don't want to change. They just want the pain to stop. That's the truth they can't swallow. They're not sorry for the harm, they're sorry they got caught in the backlash of it. Oh, the irony. They wanted to play puppeteer with fate, not realizing fate has sharper strings. Every manipulation, every scheme, every lie they built, it all comes back home eventually. And when it does, it doesn't knock softly. It drags every false smile out into the open, every mask off, every pretense burned. Because when the warning becomes the consequence, there's no one left to negotiate with. The silence that once protected them now testifies against them. The patience that once shielded them becomes the weight that crushes their excuses. A mirror never screams. It simply shows what you've become. And there it is. The reflection. Pale. Unforgiving. Staring back at them like an old memory that refuses to fade. It doesn't blink. Doesn't shift. Doesn't flatter. It just stares quietly, truthfully, showing every mark they thought time would erase, every deceit they buried under a smile, every betrayal they disguised as choice. Oh wow, that reflection is cruel, isn't it? But only because it's honest. See, people spend their lives running from mirrors, not glass ones, but the human kind. The ones that reflect their actions, their intentions, their hidden motives. The moment someone dares to hold that mirror up, they call it judgment. They get angry, defensive. But anger doesn't hide guilt. It exposes it. You can tell a lot about a person by how they react to truth. When they were warned, the mirror was already being polished. Every warning was a reflection being sharpened, piece by piece, until one day it stood clear, and they couldn't look away anymore, because this time the mirror wasn't made of glass, it was made of consequence. Yeah, consequence, the most faithful reflection of all. It doesn't distort, it doesn't forgive, it simply returns what was given. The same energy, the same intention, the same sharp edge. What you send out eventually circles back, not to destroy you, but to educate you. The problem is, the ones who mock the lesson never survive the test. They wanted to play clever, to move in shadows, thinking no one saw the seeds they planted. But the soil always remembers. Every act grows roots, deep and patient. And when the harvest comes, oh, it comes heavy. They thought they'd reap applause, but what grew was accountability, wild, uncontrollable, choking out every illusion they ever fed themselves. Nah, they never thought the mirror would turn this sharp. They assumed mercy meant blindness, that patience meant weakness. But patience is not submission, it's strategy. And mercy isn't blindness, it's restraint before correction. When that reflection begins to speak, it doesn't whisper, it roars. It reminds them of every ignored warning, every smile they twisted, every time they thought silence was permission, and suddenly they see it themselves, not as the victim they pretended to be, but as the architect of their downfall. The irony. They were warned that every action creates a pattern, but arrogance told them they were immune. Now the pattern has become a cage. Every move they make echoes the very choices that led them here. It's poetic, almost beautiful. In that cold, merciless way, truth always is. Oh, the mirror doesn't just show their face. It shows their heart. Stripped bare. No filter. No performance. Just the raw essence of who they've become. That's why they tremble now, because facing the truth requires a strength they never built. You can't fake redemption. You can't charm the reflection. And now, when they look into that mirror, they realize the same eyes they used to deceive others are now watching them. No escape, no disguise, only truth reflected endlessly. They whisper for mercy, but the reflection answers only with silence. Because silence now is not absence, it's judgment suspended in air waiting to fall. When justice walks in, it doesn't shout, it breathes cold air and closes every door behind it. And no, it doesn't land softly. It hits like silence after chaos, like realization after arrogance. The moment the illusion collapses, everything slows, every lie echoes, every choice returns, every mask melts. Oh wow, that's when they understand what true weight feels like. Not the kind that bends your back, but the kind that crushes your pride. They thought the world revolved around their schemes, didn't they? Every manipulation, every deceit, every quiet cruelty, they believed it was all a game. They thought cleverness was power. But cleverness without conscience is a loaded weapon pointed at your own reflection. The trigger doesn't care who pulls it. See, judgment isn't about punishment, it's about exposure. It doesn't destroy unjustly, it reveals completely. The difference between the righteous and the reckless lies in one thing: awareness. Awareness of the moment before the fall. They had that moment. They were given it again and again. But arrogance makes people deaf. They only hear praise, never warnings. Yeah, they thought those who warned them were weak. They laughed at sincerity, mistook discipline for control and patience for fear. But every quiet observer, every person they mocked, they were simply watching the wheel turn. Because once the motion begins, nothing can stop it. No apologies, not tears, not begging. Once the balance begins to correct itself, it moves with precision. They're learning that now. The pain they feel isn't unfair. It's familiar. It's the same pain they distributed in pieces, thinking it would never find its way home. But pain has memory. It travels quietly, gathering speed until it arrives uninvited, undeniable, unforgettable. Oh, they cry for peace now, but peace has requirements. It demands reflection, correction, transformation. And nah, they're not ready for that yet. They want comfort, not clarity. They want to skip the part where they admit who they've become. But you can't outrun the mirror, and you can't rewrite the past once it begins replaying itself in your mind. You see, life doesn't shout enough. It just starts reflecting you harder. It shows you what you've been feeding the world and forces you to taste it. Every word, every deed, every hidden motive, it all circles back until you learn. That's the law of existence. Everything returns to sender. Not as punishment, but as proof that actions echo longer than words. Oh, the irony. The very arrogance that made them blind is now the fire that lights their own exposure. They can see everything clearly now, the faces they deceived, the trust they broke, the warnings they mocked. They're haunted not by monsters, but by memories. Every smile they faked, every truth they twisted, every chance they were given. Now, they sit in the stillness they once feared. The silence that once bored them has become their loudest teacher. Because silence, when it comes from within, doesn't ask questions, it delivers answers. Brutal ones, honest ones. The kind that strips away every false identity until only truth remains. And there's the cruel beauty of it. They prayed for mercy, but received a mirror, because mercy without accountability is meaningless, and forgiveness without change is wasted. They're starting to see it now. That the real punishment isn't pain. It's a realization. It's standing face to face with the truth that you built your own downfall, brick by brick, smiling the entire time. The quietest moment in a storm is not peace. It's precision. That's where they are now, in that still point between collapse and consequence. It's not chaos anymore. It's something worse. It's clarity. When realization settles, it doesn't roar, it whispers. It crawls into every thought and begins dismantling the illusions piece by piece. Oh wow, they thought the storm would come with thunder. They never imagined it would arrive through silence, through reflection, through everything they once ignored. They used to laugh at warnings, remember? They called truth too harsh, discipline too cold. But now, they understand why truth burns, because it cleanses. You can't heal what you keep pretending isn't broken. And yet that's exactly what they tried to do. Patch the cracks with excuses. Decorate the damage with pride. But cracks don't disappear. They grow. Quietly, until everything shatters at once. The reckoning doesn't announce itself. It moves slowly, deliberately, like a shadow that always knows where you'll turn next. It doesn't chase you. It meets you. And when it does, there's no speech to deliver, no defense to give, just reality. Raw and unfiltered. It speaks without words, because it doesn't need to explain. The truth doesn't argue. It simply exists. Yeah. And now they see it. Every moment they thought was victory was actually a countdown. Every manipulation they celebrated was a debt accumulating interest. Every smile they faked, every boundary they crossed, all logged, all remembered by time itself. Time doesn't forget. It doesn't forgive either. It balances, slowly, methodically, perfectly. Nah, They thought they could rewrite their own ending, that somehow life would ignore the ledger of their actions. But every choice was recorded, not by eyes, but by energy. Every intent was documented by the weight it carried. They thought the world would move on, that the damage would fade. But the consequence doesn't fade. It waits. It grows patient, while they grow reckless. Now that patience has turned into presence. Every thought feels heavier. Every breath feels measured. Because once you reach the point of reckoning, you no longer fear punishment. You fear truth. You fear what it reveals about you. Oh, the irony. They once mocked reflection, and now reflection is their judge. They once silenced others, and now silence has swallowed them whole. They once demanded attention, and now even attention avoids them. That's what happens when you drain the trust of the world. It doesn't scream, it simply turns away. Oh wow, they finally get it now. Every warning was not an attack, it was protection. Every boundary they violated was not control, it was mercy in disguise. They were being guided, not restricted. But arrogance always mistakes guidance for opposition. And by the time they realize the difference, the bridge is already burning behind them. The reckoning doesn't destroy to destroy, it destroys to rebuild. It doesn't come to end you, it comes to reveal the real you beneath all the performance. It removes every illusion until the truth stands alone, unpolished, unprotected, undeniable. That's when transformation becomes possible, but only if they accept it. Because reckoning is not just a punishment, it's an invitation, a final chance to stop pretending and start becoming. Most won't take it, their pride won't let them, but those who do, they never return the same. And there it is, the final scene. The laughter's gone. The mask is cracked. The same karmic that mocked every warning is now whispering for mercy. But silence doesn't answer fools. It just reminds them why it warned them in the first place. Oh wow, poetic justice, right? The energy they threw into the world finally came back home, full circle, sharp, precise, unapologetic. Because karma doesn't forget, it waits. But you, yeah, you watching this till the end, salute. You're not here by accident. You're the type that listens when others laugh, that grows when others crumble. You're the reason this message even matters. You're proof that awareness still breathes in a world drowning in noise. So if this hit something inside you, let me know in the comments. Don't just watch, speak. Drop your truth below, because voices like yours, they build movements. They shake the fake right out of the shadows. Huh? And hey, remember this? Staying silent doesn't make you weak, it makes you dangerous. The real ones don't announce their power, they let their peace do the talking. So walk with calm, move with precision. Let karma handle the noise. Yeah, the warnings were ignored but not forgotten. And the story doesn't end with them begging, it ends with you rising. Stronger, sharper, untouchable. Until next time, stay aware, stay relentless, and never apologize for your growth. Because the moment you rise, the ones who once laughed start trembling.